Dude.
Oh man,
That's so fucking good.
it leaves you speechless a little bit because you're like, oh man, it's gonna be so good.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Hey, welcome back to our first 2023 After Hours. I'm Ryan Damask. I'm joined with CJ Mack.
What up? What's going on?
We just watched the world premiere of the second Antman Quantumania trailer that dropped during the NCAA playoff game after waiting what felt like hours.
One eternity later.
So if you had to sum up how you feel about the trailer in 10 words or less.
Oh, 10 words or less. Let's say it this way. Holy shit.
5 times.
5 times. It's I can't, because it went from like you just said, it went from happy trailer to, oh man, Scott Lang, and now you're just like, oh, Scott Lang?
Yeah. So on one hand, we didn't really see a whole lot more in this trailer as far as like things that are happening in the story. I think it was just like we're seeing a little bit different parts of different scenes we saw before in a new light, and it really kind of told more of the story without spoiling it. I think I definitely have some wild theories, probably just like you.
Yeah, it didn't. I think they added more to some scenes that either solidify kind of a few plot points. I mean, because it really still doesn't tell you the story. Like, it tells you the same stuff it's told from the first trailer.
Yeah.
But it just gives you like a few new characters and just some action scenes. You're just like, oh, that's cool. That looks like that.
So I do know this was overall a father-daughter story. Like, that's what this whole movie is about Scott and Cassie Lang's relationship, and the fact that he missed out on her life because he was in jail, then he missed out on her life because he was in the blip, and now he's trying to reconnect, but there's this weird disconnect because he's still trying to treat her like 5-year-old Cassie, and now she's 18 years old.
Yeah, because I mean, for him, it was overnight,
and she's a full-fledged adult and has her own beliefs and things now. And so I think with that mindset, when I go into this trailer, I think even though we're only seeing scenes in the trailer where they're like, "Dad, I love you," like Cassie, like, I think there's actually going to be a lot of tension between them, and I think that's going to lead to some of the things that we saw in the trailer.
Yeah, and I want to also add like some of the disconnect, because when I look at the trailer, I'm like, she went down the path of the Van Dynes. Like, she's smart, she's intelligent. Scott's not. Right. Scott's not intelligent like that. Dude. You know, so I'm like, you have this super smart daughter you had no help with, and I feel like he's gonna feel like she left him behind.
Yeah. Almost like he's a disappointment to her, even though he might be a hero in the eyes of the world, but he's kind of a disappointment to his daughter.
Especially when they've swapped her 3 times.
Yeah. I do think it's interesting that I think for like the majority of the story, they send like Janet and Hope and Hank off on a side quest, and it's really just Scott and Cassie throughout a lot of it on their own. And so we haven't seen much about like what the other group is doing. We know presumably that they meet Bill Murray's character.
Some most of what happened in like in Chronopolis or like the outskirts, whatever.
Right, and we saw him go into that shady little bar during the first trailer, but other than that, we really don't know much about what they're doing.
But yeah, a lot of that is just flat mystery. I think Janet may know more of what's going on and like who these people are, since I mean she lived down there for who knows what time frame.
She was stuck down there for 30 years.
Yeah, so I mean, 30 years, that's a lifetime, especially at her age. That was more than half her life.
Yeah, exactly. So that being said, I think this whole thing about Scott and Cassie and about how they spent so much time apart, they don't even really know each other anymore, and I think that's going to play into Janet and Hope as well.
Yeah.
So I think Janet came back, and they were and Hope's been trying to get her back forever, and is expecting to rekindle this relationship with her mother. But I bet her mother, after all of this, is like really closed off to everything she experienced down there and doesn't really want to open up, and now it's all coming to light
down there.
So I bet that's a big tension point.
Yeah, now she has to talk about it.
Dude, I said this after the first trailer, like there was like one joke that dropped in the first trailer, and I was like, this is going to be a serious movie. After this one, I'm like, this isn't going to just be a serious movie, this is going to be a dark as fuck movie.
Overall tone is dark now. It went from 2 happy trailers to this is just...
Well, I wouldn't say the first one, I wouldn't say the other one was happy. I mean, I would say it was more serious in tone, but it wasn't sad. It wasn't dark.
Sad. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gave you kind of a Scott's viewpoint of things.
Yeah.
In a sense of, hey, I've been gone. I just saved the world or the universe. Now I got to fit back into society, as a normal person, because it's not like much is really going on for select groups of heroes now. So they have to deal with the real world. Now you get thrown this. You get thrown a second chance in life.
Yeah, and I think that's what's going to be so enticing about Kang's offer. He's offering to give him back that time he lost, and in exchange for completing this other time heist again.
His other quest.
My personal fan theory, if you want to hear it, I think he's going to offer this to Scott, and Scott's going to realize like the evilness of what could unfold if he does that. And I think he's going to end up refusing, and Kang is actually going to beat him and almost not. I don't know if he's going to kill him at this point, but I think he is going to like trap him away, and I think that's the area where we see him like start cloning. Where he's like in this area by himself, and they're trying to like climb up each other, and I think they're trying to like get out. And another out there fan theory is that MODOK's actually the one who like he sends MODOK to like guard over him, basically.
I can see that. Actually, I didn't think about that first theory. But look, when I kind of think about the trailer, how like both Scotts pop up at the same time, it's like 2 of them at once. That could be that diverging timeline of all the Scotts that decided not to help, and they get trapped there, and then they band together.
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
Yeah, now that like my brain's starting to spin, I'm like, that could make sense. Like every Scott that decided not to help, he throws him there and traps him for some reason, and then they start banding together to work, because it looks like they're running from something at one point. You have giant Antman who starts
and
he gets Reed Richard.
He gets ribboned.
He gets Reed Richard. And I'm like, are they running from somebody? Or it's like, hey, this is our time to, break free. Because I mean, I have a personal theory that I think a Scott is gonna die.
I do too.
Yeah, I think a Scott's gonna die. It could be main timeline Scott.
Yeah. One reason being ties into the theory that I'm about to say. The other one is because they have to establish Kang in this movie as like the big bad. And to do that, I think they really have to kill someone. Yeah. And some people are saying, oh, well, they're not going to kill Scott. They'll kill Hank Pym. And now I just don't think that's big enough.
I don't think
it is for comic book readers.
Yeah, I was going to say I can see that coming from a comic book reader that's like knows how important Hank Pym is in the overall scheme, but you need to hit us like right now where somebody dies, like in the movie actually die. We need to witness a death, and if it's not Ant-Man, who else are you gonna kill? You can't kill Cassie, you can't kill Hope, you could kind of kill a Janet maybe, but she never really had enough established.
Yeah, I don't feel like that has enough of an impact either.
Yeah, and so you give us an Ant-Man kill, and then you can kind of maybe bring him back, but don't give us a end game bring him back where he saved the world again. Give us a kind of like a what if, like when they brought Black Widow to another timeline, and like to live out her life after she died in What If. So I can see that, or they brought her to a timeline where Natasha Romanoff actually died, and that's how they kind of bring him back, where he's still important enough, or kill him off and you bring him back in Secret Wars.
Yeah,
You know?
that's a good point. So I mentioned how I thought Scott is going to refuse Kang's offer after really thinking about it. I think at that point is when Kang is going to trap him down in that other wherever that is, and I think he's either going to kill a Scott Lang, not our Scott Lang, but kill a Scott Lang that he pulls from somewhere else, or just tells Cassie that he's dead, and actually convinces Cassie to complete the heist to get her time back with her dad. And that's when Scott comes back and it's like trying to save Cassie from doing this, trying to stop her. And I think Cassie might actually complete the heist, and that's what's gonna let Kang
set
out
off everything. Yeah, because and actually I would actually like to combine our theories on that point. What if she witnessed, because you remember he said don't let her watch this.
Yeah.
And then what if she sees him, because he does the fucking Gears of War curb stomp, on.
Yeah, that's the big action scene.
What if that's who he kills and she sees that, and he's like, complete this and then I'll bring him back. Because the fact that
there's definitely something that's keeping him trapped in the quantum realm. And that's what the heist is all about, is to get whatever device or person or whoever it is that can break him out.
So I had a question. What if it's a bringing back an Infinity Stone, or like bringing up those?
I don't know, because those only work in their universe, which was established in Loki, and he is from all universes. He's trying to break out to go into all universes. So I don't know what. Well, at least with those Infinity Stones.
Yeah, I know they didn't work in the TVA, but I don't think they officially said it didn't work outside the universe, because it just didn't work in the TVA, which was like void of. Loki couldn't even use his magic.
So I guess I always understood that the Infinity Stones only work in their universe.
So in the comic, that was hard established. In the MCU, Loki they established it didn't work in the TVA.
Well, there would be no point in just going and getting those. Like, they could go and get them from any universe. He could go and get this one from this universe.
Well,
and that one from that
I would just say, like, because this is me with like I would say this is like a throw it out there theory.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm just analyzing it.
Yeah,
with you.
Because keep in mind, if they brought Infinity Stones from other timelines, Ant-Man doesn't have power to go to other universes. He only can go to other timelines. So what if he's bringing, like certain things, or like a certain Infinity Stone? I mean, they use the Tesseract to power stuff, and I mean, his abilities are blue. That's the only like random thing I ever thought about. Right. What if it's still like using the power of the Tesseract, or something like that to establish something greater?
Yeah.
You know.
I don't. Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah, I just that's just one of my like random like, what's the worst that can happen type of situation.
When we talk about that action scene where he like curb stomps him or whatever, I don't think that's when he's killing him, because the next scene you see in the trailer, he's got his helmet off, and you saw like the helmet crushed or whatever. Yeah. But I mean, that could all be out of order in the trailer, of course. But I think what happens is Scott does escape, and by the time he's escaped, Cassie's already done whatever it is she was gonna do to free Kang. And now Ant-Man's just trying to stop Kang, and that's why he says like, "Oh, I don't have to win. We both just have to lose, so that way he can't escape and he can't go out and do his plan." Yeah,
because because and I could see Marvel giving us Ant-Man did everything he did, still failed, and Kang kind of had like a backup plan.
Yeah.
Already in place.
They're definitely gonna lose, like, because we know. I mean, we essentially know like he's gonna complete whatever his plan is to get out of the quantum realm at the end of this movie, because that's what's gonna set off in the next two phases.
Yep.
But as to if it's a hopeless victory where like he just kills the whole Ant-Man dynasty, I don't know if it's gonna be that.
Well, they said it's a start of a new dynasty, and I don't think it's. I think that kind of has a double play though. Because I don't think it's just a Kang dynasty that we're like, obviously we know we're going towards that. But I think this has a little bit more meaning to that. Like, Obviously new Avengers are coming. You have something significant that's going to happen in Quantumania.
Yeah.
That kicks off something new. So that's why I look at maybe Ant-Man Dynasty ends.
As a purely looking through an MCU lens, not as a fan of any body in particular, I'm like, dude, killing Ant-Man would be a pretty good fucking play for this movie.
Yes.
As myself, as a fan, I'm like, I don't want Paul Rudd to go anywhere. I want him to carry the next 2 phases.
Yeah, I need his comedy, his quirkiness, his not. Yeah.
But I wanted Robert Downey Jr. to last forever. And,
yes.
And honestly, his death probably was one of the best things Marvel did, just because it was so impactful.
Yep. Yeah, and they I can say like those couple of big deaths were very impactful in the whole thing. Well, let me just say one death for sure. Captain America could still be on the moon right now. Yeah. But I like how they gave tribute to that to like set a stage for this next go round.
Well, dude, I'm excited to see what happens. I'm actually going down to Houston to watch it with CJ and some of our other friends on my birthday, the same weekend that it comes out. So
yep.
Extremely excited.
This is going to be fun. Hey, live stream.
Right. Live reaction after the movie,
yep.
For sure.
Actually, we...
well, dude, crazy trailer. I'm glad I watched such a helpless football game just to be able to see.
I just want to have it on record, guys. Like, I perfectly walked in my bedroom, clicked the game on, and all I remember was like the announcers were holding up 4 for like fourth quarter starting, and then they're like, "All right, we're going to commercial break." Ant-Man trailer starts. I'm like, dang, I didn't waste this whole time watching a helpless game.
Well, I'm excited to see more Kang. I'm excited to see more Scott Lang and everything this movie holds. I think Wakanda Forever was great, and I'm excited to see where that leads. And the 2 movies before that were here or there, Multiverse of Madness, Love and Thunder. They didn't do much for the overall story for me, but I think this is going to be the big one.
Yep.
I think Phase 5 is going to be a banger.
Oh, it's going to be amazing next year. Everything. You got TV shows and movies.
Yep.
All next year. So I can't wait for it.
We'll do a past recap of what's to come. What's that called?
I think that's So,
looking forward, looking ahead of MCU for 2023.
Yeah, there we go.
All right. Hey, well, as always, make sure you check out our merch store, chaoticpubcast.com. Get you one of these cool Kang shirts before he's a total dickhead again.
Yes.
And like and subscribe to the channel. We definitely could use that to expand, and we will be back next week probably for our reaction after episode 1 of The Last of Us.
I can't wait. Thank you for having me on, man.
All right. We'll see you next time. Good night.
All right.